We're going to show you the house that we're actually going to be working on here. This is about a 1900 house, kind of a trendy little area, proximal to the university residential and off-campus housing in the area. My sister and her husband live in the first floor apartment, and the upstairs apartment, as you can see there, is where we're working on. Take a walk inside the front door here. Go up these steps here. Obviously this carpet's going to get replaced. This is the project. So you walk up these stairs right here and into the apartment you come. First thing you see to the right is a pretty good sized living area. Walk into here is a kitchen area. Now this place has been gutted, as you can see. Through the back there you can see the bathroom. Looks like a mess, does it not? Here's the bedroom. Nice bay window there. Sort of bay-like. Here's the closet in the corner. We're going to be expanding that to a much wider opening. There's a little storage right there off the bedroom. This wall right here is going to be bumped out from this side here. There's a little alcove for coats and whatnot. The big issue in this house is the floor. As you might be able to see in the video, it kind of dips down in the middle. So as I walk this way, I'm literally going downhill, and then it crests right around here and I start going back up. It's pretty severe, pretty significant. We figured out the problem. There was a suspension issue in the basement where all the weight came to a point across two joists. That's been now supported, and we have a permanent support on its way. I'll videotape that when we get to that. Meanwhile, this is demo day here today, because I'm going to demo all this today and tomorrow. And once this is all demolished, the floor that is, when we jack up the house a little bit from the basement, hopefully this area will give a little bit and correct some of this floor here. What does not get corrected, we will be re-leveling the floor with sister joists, and we'll cover that when we get to that. As we walk into here, this is going to be a tile kitchen. It's going to have all the amenities. It's going to be all modernized. The radiators, we've debated whether or not to go in the floor with it or just below the window with a little wall unit, just to get it off the floor, or maybe above the window. As we come over here, you can see the bathroom. Here's where the plumbing is for the shower. We're going to put a pocket door right in here and bump this out a little bit, make a little plumbing wall for the mechanicals there. And have a custom shower here that we're going to do with all tile on the floor and then the shower. And this is the toilet, which we're going to move over to the left. So in order to be able to do that and be able to pitch it correctly, we've got to raise this floor up a little bit. And so that will be another component to this job. Again, with the radiator, I believe maybe leaning towards a wall unit. You can see there's a lot of work to do. This in here will be a utility room, and there will be a combination washer-dryer unit that will be in here. You can wash, and it actually dries it all in one cycle. My sister wanted to go that route as opposed to a separate washer and dryer. It's supposed to be very efficient, very durable, believe it or not. So that will be all outfitted in there. Out here is a little porch. So I'm going to bring my demo stuff. Comes out to a little balcony, little fire escape, little balcony, and there's the debris pile. So take you through all the steps of this bad boy, and I'm going to take this wall down, put this wall up before we decided on what to do with the floor. We were initially going to leave it pitched but that just wasn't going to fly. So, you know, it was either do a little bit of a cosmetic or do a whole big bang all the way. So we're going all the way, as you can see, and when it's done, it's going to look pretty sweet. So stay tuned and stick around, and the house surgeon will be back, and we'll see where we're going and what we're doing next. As you can see from yesterday, got a little bit more of the demo completed. This is an old chimney. Gonna finish this side here today. Looking in the bathroom here, we got the bathroom all opened up. It's the shower drain. It's the toilet drain, and the rough-in for the sink drain. Now the plan was to try to move this toilet over to the left side of the bathroom. And after now opening up this floor, I'm not so sure that's going to be a possibility. When they build houses, they put these stacks close to where they believe the toilet's going to be. As you can see, it's just a direct shot straight back as far as the framing goes. Now you would have to tie in other drains in that room, like you see here with this floor drain and the shower drain, into that main drain somehow. But nevertheless, this stack really pretty much dictates where everything's going to go. Looking at this here now, we could theoretically turn this inlet into the stack. This whole stack would have to be cut below this inlet part of the main stack from the toilet, and then kind of pieced back up and redirected over to this side. There's a lot of framing in the way here. As you can see, the joists run in this direction. Now this is all pretty beat up. When I was ripping up the floor yesterday, I noticed that these joists have a lot of holes drilled in them. This piping right here is not even necessary anymore. It's not even connected to anything, so this has got to all come out, so that'll clean this up a little bit. But nevertheless, it's hurting pretty good. So once we cap off the radiator and get that out of here, and we do all the floor leveling in here with all the joists because of this big dip in the middle of the apartment space here, we'll have a better idea as to what we're going to do. We may end up just redoing this whole space in here in the bathroom, and maybe we can do it in such a way that enables the drain to be moved, but going to probably have to get some consultation on that, and got some people that would be good to ask for their thoughts. You know, counsel of many is always better. But looking at this space otherwise, it's going to be a nice little bathroom in here. If she has to keep the toilet here, or we have this pocket door that will be here, that will be opening up into this way. So, I mean, someone will be sitting right on the john right there. But keep the door locked, you should be all set. Shortly, we're going to be heading down to the basement and catching up with Jeff and Josh and seeing how these jack posts that they're fashioning for lifting the house are going to actually work in real time. As you can see, this dip in the floor here in the second floor, you should see some improvement in that once we jack up the house from the basement. We're going to keep track on the first floor too, as we might crack some of the drywall as we do that, but we expect that this is a possibility. We'll show you the dip in the first floor in a few minutes here, and you'll see the significance of it. Okay, we are now down on the first floor in my sister and brother-in-law's apartment, and this is the wall that is the... Let's try that again. We're now down in this area, and this is the wall that's the center of attention. This wall bears a great deal of the load of the second floor. Can't maybe see it too well, but right underneath that wall is where all the forces of the house are kind of pinning down in almost like a funnel. And right beneath that are the two joists that really kind of hold it all up, and we'll show you that shortly as to their issue and why there is a problem here. But to give you a sense as to how much of a dip we're talking about here, I'm going to close the door and you'll see. That door is relatively level. As you can see, the floor though it's pretty tight to the door there, but as you go down here, it dips way down. And this wall down here is essentially like falling into the floor. Now we have some braces down there and some jack posts that are sort of temporarily holding this thing all up and reinforcing it, but we're going to make a much more permanent fix with the welded jack posts that we showed you previously. But we're going to crank this up, and as this cranks up, it's going to put some upward pressure on a lot of these things. We just want to make sure that we don't shift anything too much so in doing that. But by doing that, it'll right the ship a little bit. We may have to do some drywall repair, which is not the end of the world. But by doing that, we'll have a very strong support underneath here now. And then we can build upon that, because this wall will now be sufficiently reinforced right directly beneath it, so all the downward forces are going through the basement supports. And then right above here, the second floor that we saw dipping previously will then be elevated maybe a little bit by jacking this up, but whatever is to remain, we will then re-level the floor with new joists, with this wall here above serving as the support point for the joists. A little bit longer ones running in this direction, and then shorter ones running across the bedroom. Alright, so this wraps up this. We'll be back for more. The House Surgeon.